Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So for today's video I'm going to be using the gorgeous Booklover 2 kit from Planners Anonymous to make 2 cool bookmarks. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so the thing that made the most sense to make with Booklover is a bookmark. Does that not make the most amount of sense? But I'm going to use the same 2 stamps to make I want to say 3 bookmarks. Let's go with 1 to start with and we'll see how we go. I know I want to make more than 1, but... So I'm going to cut this piece of A4 paper. This is A4 120 GSM paper. I'm going to cut this into thirds to start with. I'm just going to move my die cut machine off. So I'm going to do 3 different patterns, all using the same stamp. Now what I loved about this stamp set the thing I loved the most is actually these 2 tiny little stamps. So these 2 tiny little ones together actually layer to make an absolutely gorgeous stamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the outline. We're going to do the outline. No, we'll do the in first and we'll put the outline on afterwards, because then it gives you this kind of funny coloured in look that I really like. So I've got the little outline and I'm going to basically stamp this whole section of paper. Now what I've done is grabbed a couple of combos of my Distress Oxide. So I've got a 4 combo in green, a 2 4s in green, a 3 in teal, a 3 in blue, and a 4 in purple. I don't know if I'll use all of them. I really like the green. I know I like the green, and I know I like the teal. I'm a bit funny on the purple, but I thought I'd give it a try. So I think I'll do 1 whole one in green, and then I'll do 1 whole one in teal, and we'll see how we go with the others. So we've got Mowed Lawn, Twisted Citron, Rustic Wilderness, and Lucky Clover. And I'm basically going to take the lid off all of them. I have no concerns about transfer between my inks. I know I've told you guys that before, but I don't care. If you are worried about transferring some Twisted Citron into some Mowed Lawn and etc, you might be better to kind of be a bit more careful with this, but I really don't care. So I'm going to pick these up in sort of different spots. So there'll be a little bit of each different colour here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down. Now it may not look like a perfect stamp the first time, and it may not blend nicely, it may look a bit funny, but as we go along this will all kind of work itself out and it will look really cool. But I like the randomness of the different colours, and I can work either way. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this sort of little pattern. Sort of flick between doing the dark and the light and the light and the dark. Whoops! Oh, thank goodness. If that had fallen down, I would have been mad. And just sort of see what we get. If you also like it a little bit smoother, you can go in with like a paintbrush or something just to smooth those edges out, so there isn't quite that line. I actually kind of like it. I think it looks cool. And you don't have to use all 4 each time. You can sort of rotate between them. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. And we're going to add obviously the extra little bit of detail, but then after that we can come back and sort of put in some splatters to fix up anywhere with a bit too much white space. The next one we might do tighter, so I might do sort of the stamping might come in a little bit tighter than here. I feel like I started tight in the corner and then I got looser as I went along, but that's okay. So then the outline, I'm just doing in black ink. And I want it to line up as much as possible, but if it doesn't quite line up, it actually gives us this really cool kind of pencil look, and I love it. I think it looks really cool. So I'm not being 100% perfect with this. I don't want it to be perfect. I don't want it to be horribly out because that doesn't look good. But I do want it to be close. So I'm just going to go around, stamp this outline on. Alright, some of those I did a really good job of, some of them not so much. So what I'll do is I'm going to put that one to the side, and we're going to do another one with one of these other bits of paper. This one I'm going to try a different colour combo, but it will be exactly the same. So I'm not going to do anything different, it's just going to be a different colour combination. I might do... I kind of want to do the purple because the purple does look cool. So I've got Villainous Potion. Damn, I did that again. Villainous Potion, Seedless Preserves, Dusty Concord, and Wilted Violet. But I'm just going to pull out Seedless Preserves. I'm not pulling it out completely out, but it gives it a funny, it's just a different kind of colour that I don't like as much. So I'm just going to try this 3 combo and see how we go. I did notice that my Villainous Potion is very, 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 very wet. And so when it's probably because it hasn't been used very much. When I stamp into it, it has been giving me a little bit too much juice. So I'm just blotting it off to make sure that I don't go too hard with that one. So do the exact same thing I just did. I'm just going to keep them a little bit tighter this time, which is why I'm sort of starting in the middle and working out instead of the other way. But we'll stamp these out. We'll see what we can come out with. Not sure I like the purple as much. I feel like it looks too like lavender, but anyway, we've done it now. I do really like, for anyone playing along at home, Dusty Concord with Villainous Potion over the top. I think that looks amazing. I may need to play with that colour combo. Alright, so for the last one, I am going to play with a couple of different colours, but I'm going to do one thing differently. So rather than having the solid down first, I'm going to put the outline down first. I don't know why, I just want to try it and see what I get, and I feel like then I'm going to be able to be more easily able to distribute my colours, I guess is the right word. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this on. I just rotate it. Damn. It's alright. I can fix the top. It won't need the whole thing. I like to just sort of rotate my stamp around. It does mean you do get moments where you do what I just did, which is drop it. But I feel like you get a much more random pattern that way. I just feel like I want to pull all 5 of my colour combos in here and just see what happens. So we'll start off with the purple because I know I like, well, I don't love the purple, but I do think it looks cool. And so like this time I'm doing the opposite. So rather than doing, we're kind of putting that over the top. So I'm just finding the spots so it's distributed. Get word. And then we'll do the same thing in a minute for the others. And I'm just looking for where I like the colour distribution. I like that one at the bottom. So then the blue, the other green combo I have here is Shabby Shutters, Forest Moss, Peel Paint and Bundled Sage. It's just that slightly lighter colour combo, except the Forest Moss, which is a bit darker. So I'm just going to play lightly with the Forest Moss. I don't want to go too hard with it. The rest of them I don't mind. We'll just see what we get with this. The cool thing is about succulents. Oh, that's nice. The cool thing is about succulents. They really can be any colour, and in a minute you're going to see me bring in some blue, which you'll think, oh, that's a bit weird, but I love it. Oh, I really like that Forest Moss. That's a good one. And then the blue one we've got here is Weathered Wood, Stormy Sky, and Ice Spruce. So it's very grey blues. There is definitely blue here, but it doesn't feel so grey blue. But I do love the combo. Might just need a little bit more of the blue and a little bit less of a little bit of the grey. So then the teal combo, which is the last one, is Cracked Pistachio, Peacock Feathers and Salvaged Patina. I am thinking of bringing in just a little bit of Evergreen Bough, which is another sort of, it is a teal, it's a green, but it's a dark greeny teal. I just feel like it needs a little bit of pullback, because this is going to be a very bright combo otherwise. And I'm just going with it. I could test it first and see what happens. I'm just going to go and we'll just see what happens. Oh no, that's fine. I was really worried that would be too bright, but the Evergreen pulls it back. I was really worried that would be too bright. So we have all of the ink portions done now. So we can start sort of getting our shapes ready. So if you remember back a couple of weeks ago, I don't actually remember which video it was, but one of my videos, and I said, gee, I wish I knew what I was supposed to do with all of these slightly smaller rectangles. This is what I'm going to do with the slightly smaller rectangles. I'm going to use them to make some bookmarks. So I'm just going to place that on there. I'm just going to find the spot that I like the look the best. Oh, I missed one. I missed it. Easy fixed. I will say I like the ink over the top of the black better. I don't know why, I just think it looks cooler. That's the spot there. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. I'm going to cut the other ones out as well. The only part I don't like about that is I got a little bit of, not transfer, but just a little bit of muck when I was doing that. I like the multicoloured one the best. That's my favourite by a long way. But all of them need just a little bit of extra decoration, rather than using what I think I should use, which is a little bit of all of the colours. I think that's gonna, oops. think it's going to be a bit painful. So I'm actually just going to use a little bit of black. I really like black splatter. I think it looks really cool as long as you don't go too over the top. So this is just Distress ink instead of Distress Oxide. I like it because it's a little bit more, I find it's a little bit more pigmented. Some people disagree with me. I disagree with me sometimes, but. And I'm coming at this from a really long way away because I want these spots to be small. And then as I get closer and I sort of can see where I want a little bit more, I'll come in and give it a bit more. I do want, yeah, a couple of big splatters just in places. There we go. Too much. But anyway, there's one done. I think the purple with the black's actually going to look really cool. And I don't mind that they go over the top either. It's kind of just a slightly different way of doing it. You could do it around the other way and you could mask them all off. I just find that it's not worth the effort of cutting out all of the masks for what I get. So I'm quite happy to do it this way. I think I've dried these all really well, but just in case, I'm just grabbing just a bit of paper towel and just dabbing, not swiping because that'll make a mess, but just a little bit of dabbing will pick up anything that is still slightly wet. I don't think anything is. So far so good here anyway, so we've done well. Alright, and then your bookmarks can either be, I know I've done 3 here, which is going to be a bit odd, but I'm actually going to do, I think I'm going to do those 2 together, have purple on one side and green on the other, and have it with a black, have it with a black cardstock background. I'm pretty sure this is Kaiser Craft cardstock. It is textured on one side and reasonably smooth on the other. I'm not particularly worried. I think it'll be fine. I'm just going to trim that down. It's probably a bit more than I needed, but it'll be fine. I never ever run out of uses for black cardstock, ever. So I'm just going to stick one down to one side. I'm not using a die to cut this one out because if you used a die to cut it out, you'd only get the stitching on one side, and because I've got it on both, it would just look a bit weird. So we'll just stick one side down. Just going to give it just a thin border, nothing horribly thick, but then nothing too skinny either. This is where that black actually really helps. It sort of sings a little bit once you've got those 2 together. And then we'll just trim that down. And then we can't just leave it like that. We've got to find something. So I'm going to grab the die cuts from the kit. This is where I missed the quotes because the quotes would look awesome on this. I'm just having a look at what looks cool here. Oh, I like that. I like that one. No, it needs something else on the other side. But there's different dies that fit here. So this one actually looks lovely. I'm just having a look. I definitely like this one on this side. I think that looks really cool. And then let's just have a look. Alright, we'll just have that on that side. So the only thing that I am going to be a bit clever here. So I don't want the adhesive to stick out on the other side. So all I'm going to do is just, and I don't want to trim the shape down. I want the shape to stay. So I'm just grabbing my craft knife And I'm just pushing very, very, very gently, because all I'm trying to do here is go through that little bit of release paper that's on the back of the die cuts. And then what I can do is pick that release paper up. I've got the washi tape still in place, so it hasn't moved, and I should be able to tear it off with just that bit of release paper still there. So it'll actually stay in place, so it will never be sticky. And I'm just pulling this up very gently. Always got to be a bit careful when you're using washi tape that you don't tear something. And I kind of like that it sits out on the side. Do I? I do. And I'm just trying to find what goes on the other side. I kind of just like that one. And I kind of even like it completely covering up that one in the middle, which has got nothing to do with the one in the middle. I just think it looks really good there. There you go. Now you can then put a tassel on this if you wanted to. I did one. Where did I put it? I did this one in the blue, and it's sort of blues and purples. I think it kind of looks good with this one, but I don't really love it. And so I'm actually just quite happy just with that bookmark like it is. For this card, for this bookmark, sorry, I still need to do another edge. I can't have it blank. But I might make more of a feature of the die cut on the other side. So I'll grab my trimmer again. I'll try this side too. Let's try this time to not waste as much black cardstock. I'm going to trim out just a plain white bit of paper, and then I'm going to cut that with that same die so it's the same size. Just giving that a quick rub over with my sand eraser just to help it out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this one down on the textured side. And then what I need to think about is how I'm decorating the back of this one. So I think I can do this two ways. I can either do a splatter of all of those different colours, or parts of all those different colours, because I don't think I can do all of them. It's a lot of colours. I'm just cleaning my brush a little bit. Or swipes would look really cool too, I'm just going to say, but I don't know if I want to do swipes. I think I'm just going to do a, whoops, broke the brush, it's alright. I think I'm just going to do a sort of representation of each one. So I'm going to do a little bit of forest moss and bundled sage, a little bit of the stormy sky, and then the ice spruce, a little bit of rustic wilderness, and then twisted citron, so that'll give us that really vibrant green. A little bit of cracked pistachio, and then a little bit of evergreen bough. Considering I wasn't going to use that colour, it really has sort of popped in here. And then just a teensy little bit of Villainous Potion. And I'm going to go with the Dusty Concord, but either of the purples would be fine. So I'm just going to spray of water in each one. I'm hoping they don't mix together too much so that I don't have to sort of do that. I'm just going to go ahead just a little bit and then sort of brush it off. So we've got purple. I was going to say I don't even know if you'll see the different coloured purples, but you do. Really love getting a bunch of colours like this and just going to town on splatters. It just makes me happy, and I wish I could explain why, but it just does. While I've got this mess out, because it's just a mess, I'm just going to do this. This is just a bit of that same paper. And it was all smushing together anyway, and I'm just going to clean it up so it doesn't make any difference. I'm just going to pick up a bunch of that colour. Oh. And you're just going to be careful because it will start to get muddy along the way. You can sort of see now it's starting to go brown. But I just want that. And we'll dry it off in a second, just see what we get. But I just think that'll look cool. Where's my cloth? So I'm going to hit both of those little bits with the heat tool. I don't know if I'll use the fully wet one in this project, but I just wanted to do it while it was there. So I'm just going to hit both of these with the heat tool, and I'll be right back. Alright, so that bit of paper I'm just leaving under there for a minute. I really love that splatter background. It came up beautifully. And it does just pick up the right amount of each of the colours I've used on the front. I really like it. Just going to shove that on here. Whoops. You do like it to be straight though. There we go. And then I'm just having a look to see. I do love that. I think that would look gorgeous on the front because it does have all those sort of different coloured ones. But then on the back, I thought I'd put a bit more of the booky kind of part of it. Just need to think about one thing quickly. So this is just my swatch book of my PA stamps. I just need to remind myself what the old one had. So I was just sort of thinking if it had something that sort of said like read, I was going to grab that. It doesn't. So I want to get, I think the front I'm just going to leave, I'm just going to leave it like this. Then on the back, part of me wants to try doing this myself. I'm really bad at hand lettering. Like I'm really not good at it, but part of me wants to try. So I'm just grabbing another bit of scrap. So the quote I want to use is, a book is a dream you hold in your hand. So well, see, this is why I try. I'm always very nervous that I'm going to do this really badly. All right. took a little bit, but it does look awesome. So I just used, I think that's Jessie's ABCs. Claire's ABCs. This is a Lawn Fawn one. I really love the Lawn Fawn alphas. They're one of my favourites. So then we can put our little book pile. Now, it would look really cool if you wanted to, as a wobbler, just as a side note. But I think it's fine just the way it is. So there we go. There's 2 bookmarks. The cool thing is too, oh, I really love that. I really love this one. This one's my favourite. Whoops. But you also then have a little bit of this spare paper that you could cut down and put on a couple of cards, which I may do. I also really quickly want to show you what that random bit of paper turned out like. I actually kind of like it. And I'm thinking I might be able to use that behind one of the cards. So stay tuned to my Insta. And if I do make that card, I'll make sure to put it up there. I love making paper like this. I like grabbing 1 stamp, 2 stamps, and making something like this. I know it feels like a lot of effort. It wouldn't have been if I had just stuck with one colour and if I'd kind of known what I was doing. But I do really love those. I think that's really cool. And like I said, you can add a tassel really easily. You could get like a green. I've only got a blue handy, but I do have lots of green thread. I just hadn't sort of got round to it. But 2 cute bookmarks. For anyone that loves reading, they're going to love these. Pop them in a card, extra little thing to give to someone that you love. Hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for lots more Planners Anonymous goodness. There'll be lots of videos coming up soon using all of the kits that I got recently, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those when they go up. I hope you guys have an absolutely awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!